This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I am your host, Gianna. Today, we're super excited to talk to Rhonda Kelly. Apparently, some people call her Kelly, but her real name is Rhonda. It's Rhonda Kelly. You never trust people with two first names, right? Is that what they say?
It's true. It's true.
But we trust her with all of our real estate needs, duh. So Rhonda, tell me a little bit about yourself. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Take us back to who you are, where you're from, how did you grow up to be a real estate agent?
I love that. So I'm actually from Chesapeake, Virginia Beach area, and then moved to South Carolina, moved to North Carolina, super short of the long story. When I married my husband, because he's from North Carolina, I started in real estate 4 years ago. So I'm starting my fourth full-time year. And in that 1 year into the business, I switched firms over to EXP, which brings us here, that offers us an Icon program. And last year, became an Icon agent, and here we are.
Awesome. And so, how were you introduced to EXP? Was it your first brokerage? Was it, did you make a move from somewhere? What did that transition look like for you?
So a huge part of what kept me out of real estate, because I feel like anyone you talk to is always saying, oh, I'm so curious about real estate. I think that sounds fun, something I want to get into. And who doesn't love touring houses and, living vicariously through everyone's beautiful dreams through their homes. My main goal, anyone that knows me just knows I love helping people. So whatever I've done career-wise in the past has always been centered around that. That's where my joy is, helping people get their goals, be healthier, whatever it is, whatever the career. What's kept me out of real estate for a long time was just, I think, no one can deny there is definitely a negative kind of rumor or maybe experiences people have had with realtors in the past. That shark world. I've been in commission jobs years ago, and that's just not my flavor, if you know what I mean. So I'm not here to devour everyone and help people at the same time. It's kind of oxymoron there. So, but the original brokerage that I started with had more of a personable based culture and, was advertising more than just that. Hey, we really are here to help people. So that gave me the courage to start in this career. And then after about a year of me really honing my business to what I wanted to do, because before this position, I was always in the corporate world, where the corporate world tells you what they want you to do. Then I knew I was ready to make a switch over to EXP, which is a brokerage that just ignites all of that on fire.
Absolutely. And so, you say really good things about EXP, and, they've got the Icon Award, they've got stock options, collaborations, rev shares, opportunity to build out teams, you name it. There's a lot of benefits of being here. So what's your favorite part of it? Why have you decided to stay with EXP? What's something that maybe you didn't expect about it that now you love about it?
Well, and really what not to expect is, it's like I was talking to another friend of mine who actually told me about EXP. Mm-hmm. And he said, I've been in this career for a lot longer than I had at that point, but he had done like many things and gone to the top of what's considered real estate and teams and all of that in the success ladder of it. And he said, you get into these brokerages and you're just waiting for the curtain to drop all the time. Mm-hmm. To be like, okay, it's not as good as it's suggesting or advertising. But really, EXP has been all of that and continuing to be more. I absolutely love that their slogan or their, catchphrase is "We're built for this." And it really is true, because in staying agent focused in the culture and not just saying that, but actually every decision they're making is supporting us. That just helps me support my clients that much better and, the whole circle. So I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome, Rhonda. And a big reason why EXP attracts the best of the best in the industry, and they celebrate their top agents, those that work hardest, and obviously you're one of them, top 2 or 3% in EXP, and they reward you guys, and they also ask you guys to give back to EXP through cultural commitments, and so you're really stimulating the morale and the learning environment here, which is awesome. And before we dive into that, Rhonda, tell me about you, right? So real estate can swallow you whole if you let it. It can be a very consuming career. It's hard to have a work-life balance. So how do you manage? How do you manage to have this, scaled up of a business and success as a real estate agent while also taking care of yourself, making sure that you're not on burnout mode?
Well, and really, I mean, yes, there's a growth process because just like I said, I'm starting my 4th year. So really, I've had 3 solid years, full years in real estate. And when you're growing from scratch and you're growing exponentially, there's been many times where things have felt out of balance, and everything that you are making work for this moment, all of a sudden you've exploded again, and now you've got to revamp, right? So, but that is why it is so important to be with a firm that offers as much as EXP offers. Now, obviously, it's not saying that you're not a valuable agent if you're not an icon agent. Of course you are. Anybody helping you is so valuable. But knowing that we have the opportunity to move to a different level, that really the majority, well, I would say a lot of great realtors out there that I personally know and other brokerages are doing the same thing all the time, just for their brokerage that's not giving back to them and not giving them the ability to leverage and create that balance in their life. I mean, that's huge. And it is, believe it or not, costing the money. So being able to be with a brokerage that's going to reward me for doing what I'm doing anyway, but also, it's not about me holding these awards and doing all these things. It's giving me that leverage and that financial ability, or other lanes of income, to where I can give my clients more time. I can give my family more time. I can be in that balance that you're talking about, which is huge.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, I like what you said. We'll talk about benefits of the Icon Award as well. But they're leaving so much money on the table at other brokerages. When you can't earn your cap back, it just keeps disappearing. And then, ask for your cap back, you're going to find that they're going to laugh at you and that cap has vanished. So, Rhonda, my next question for you is going to be, at this level of business, obviously you can't do it all. And if you can, you don't have a life, so I don't believe you. What are some of the first things that you had to relinquish control of and kind of leverage off as you began to scale up your business? Do you have a personal assistant? Do you have virtual assistants? Do you have an office manager? What were some of those first crucial hires for you, and how has it helped you, just kind of skyrocket into this level of your career?
Well, the very first thing, and I think again, I feel like I'm an optimistic person, so I probably give more credit where credit is due or not due sometimes. But really, the one thing from day one that I've done is I've always leveraged out things to professionals, where it's photography or whether it's measuring the home, and all of those things that I know would take an obscene amount of time, where I do not have talent. and if I'm putting my best foot forward for you, you don't want me taking pictures of your house, kind of thing. But even little things like that, because I'm floored at how many agents, even extremely successful agents, that are really putting out poor quality, I think, in marketing and servicing to their clients. And it breaks my heart because, another soapbox for another day. But essentially, if we're here to help you have the greatest success, we're not doing that if we're doing half-tailed jobs about things. So, so that's number one, and that kind of helps move you through. And then, yes, I have worked with virtual assistants. I've worked with personal assistants just in some contracting scenarios, and always keeping my mind open for leveraging that in the future and whatever needs are coming up, because you want to see where you're going and you want to have that in place before you get there, versus waiting till you're sinking and then just reacting, and then you're not going to be able to make as good of a call for everybody, including yourself.
Absolutely. You don't want to make panic hires. You want to make strategic hires. So I that's important. That's so important. So Rhonda, my next question is going to be all about the Icon Award. You're on the Icon podcast, so let's dive in. So in your area in North Carolina, what does production look like for you What's the average housing price and how many houses do you have to sell to be able to cap?
So in our area, obviously everyone's seen a drastic increase of what that is in the past 2 years. As of right now in our area, we're looking at what I would say probably baseline. And this isn't even average. This is like just to get people in the door. They're typically needing about 300,000 to do something around our area. And give or take, but for most people's needs, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, that is still a little tight, just so you know, but that's kind of our baseline. So we are looking at needing to sell probably about 13 homes in order to cap. And then from there, as with the Icon program, you're just needing to pay in what is translated to 20 transactions or, other things through referrals and other ways that will reach you to the Icon status.
Absolutely. And Rhonda, we talked about it just a little bit earlier, but that cultural commitment, right? So it's more than just production. It's more than just selling homes and generating revenue. You have to take a step back from the money and the producing side of things to give back to EXP, to really step into that culture and either mentor or teach or be on a panel or vet other icons. So that being said, what cultural commitment do you pick and why? How does it benefit you and EXP?
Well, and really what's great about EXP is it's just all natural. It's things that you're doing already. If you are successful and with a heart for people, that's going to continue to generate in all the places, which is why I love everyone I've met at EXP. And from the very beginning, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but when I joined, we were just hitting 17,000 agents worldwide, and now we're over 80. And so it does feel like you were, even though I know I wasn't the beginning, but we were still very much at the beginning. And every single person, I've never not been able to talk to anyone, even all the way to the top of the company, who hasn't been absolutely just patient and kind to take a minute and chat and share whatever that they know and can benefit you. And I want to be able to offer that back. So I, in keeping with the culture of myself personally, as well as the company, I am a mentor. So that means if there's new people coming into EXP that are not seasoned agents, I'm happy to help them. I do have a mentee underneath me right now. I'm about to have another one. And that's the way I've chosen at this point to give back. EXP opened that cultural window a lot this year as far as other options that you can do. So in the future, I may explore those as well. But for now, that's how I've chosen to do it.
That's awesome, Rhonda. And it's cool to have that opportunity. And I think it speaks levels about EXP because they have chosen the best of the best to teach back and give back to EXP. And so it really just causes a morale that everybody wants to thrive and succeed and grow in, as long as you're that self-starter coming over to EXP in the first place. So Rhonda, the Icon Award comes with so many benefits, right? You get that cap back in stock, the opportunity to go to EXPCon, shareholders, the big glass shiny trophy, a great reputation, easy to catch referrals as an Icon agent. So that being said, what's your favorite benefit about Iconing? Why do you set that on a list of standards for yourself to complete every year?
Well, as you know, as in any field that is commission, as soon as you close that transaction or home for somebody, whatever it is on our side, just speaking business wise, you are officially unemployed at that point until you have another person that you are helping. So being in a field, in a career like that, having other lanes of opportunity for revenue that the company's offering us, that is stock, for instance, that is just multiplying. I've been getting stock awards really for doing, like I said, doing nothing different than what I was doing at any other company from the very beginning. That Icon is so generous to give. And of course, those have just multiplied into financial investment and gain and retirement one day, as well as that's what's being offered through this Icon in a huge way by giving us an opportunity to get back our entire stock, which is a full 16,000 in EXP stock. And I have earned back, and I'm in the process of earning back all of that this year. Very easily done and super exciting to give and receive in that scenario.
Absolutely. And, it's very incentivizing to be an icon agent and hit that every year and rewarding. And it offers almost an exit strategy for you, right? To have those stock options building up for 401k or, 401k or, even I had an icon agent be like, yeah, I've already paid for my daughter's weddings through this. I'm like, oh my gosh, how old are your daughters? He's like, 6 and 8. I'm like, awesome. Like that they are not even old enough to have their first boyfriend and you've got them checked off. So it's pretty cool to see all the different opportunities that icon agents have taken with these stock awards. And Rhonda, for somebody that is looking to make the move over to EXP, or they have already, right? Say they're a rookie or they were a top producing agent at another brokerage, they come on over and they're like, man, like I really want an icon in my first year. Mm-hmm. What does that process look like for them? What are some daily goals they need to set out or major mistakes to avoid if it's even possible?
Well, as in everything, kind of going back to what we already talked about, you don't want to wait till you're in the middle of it to make, I guess, rash or panicked, reactive decisions. So it is about having a plan. And a lot of times people already are doing the right thing. It's just coming together with that great collaboration of agents that really care about you, that are not just in a self-centered dog eat dog world that a lot of times other brokerages are setting up, because it's only the people at the top, the investors or the holders, that are really benefiting in a big way. And that's not fair. We work really, really hard for our clients and our agents. And of course, the more we can be empowered in every way, then the more we can help our clients, which is so important. And keep that balance with our family, because no one wants to sacrifice your family for anything in life. Right. Yes. So I would say the first thing I would say is I think you'd be surprised how you're already there. Mm-hmm. I think that's the most important thing, is we're not talking about, hey, here's a mountain to climb. It's you're doing this already and I'm going to cheer you on. And then anything that I can streamline and encourage them with, say if they're, spending expenses in places that aren't benefiting their business. And I can say, hey, here is this and this that I have come to know, or I can connect you with these other people doing things that are very similar to yours. That's the fantastic thing, is not just in our area, but nationwide, but globally, all the best of the best come around and are more than happy to help everyone succeed. Because when you succeed, I'm succeeding. We all have stock. We are truly an agent-owned company, and that culture is felt just in incredible ways, and not in a way that I'm never going to experience, not in a way that only the people above me are going to get that I'm not going to get. It's literally equal opportunity for everybody. And I love that.
Absolutely, Rhonda. That's a great way to describe it all. And, if you're looking to icon within your first year at EXP, you got to find an accountability buddy, lean into your mentors, lean into your upline, use the resources here that are available to you, because it's not going to be easy to do that in your first year. You're going to have to work your butt off. But you will find that if you are able to pull off that many transactions, that much production, that your pipelines kind of build itself out of that. And so, Rhonda, my next question is going to be I guess, before we get there, were you ever skeptical of EXP when it was introduced to you? Kind of too good to be true, just waiting for the other shoe to drop, pyramid scheme, cult kind of thought process?
I don't think I was quite that harsh. I know a lot of people have a lot of walls up. And maybe that has to do with the fact of only being in real estate for a year at that point when I had moved over. Mm-hmm. However, I was business minded enough, because that's what a lot of people forget, is you are running a business. Yeah. And so if I was business minded enough to understand certain numbers just need to work, I knew the hours and I knew the energy and time and everything I was putting into my clients and working for their best. My standards are high. I want to offer the greatest to them. And so that in a personal goal, I saw this as I was already at a spot where I was ready. I was ready to hear about other options. I wasn't advertising that, because as far as I knew, I was at the best brokerage that could do that. And I thought, well, if all the other ones are, A, B, or C. But then when I saw this is truly agent focused and this is everything that we're talking about, I was really encouraged. And to go back to our question that we were just talking about, EXP absolutely does offer more than I've had at other brokerages, meaning ways to get leads in an affordable way when you can't buy up front and you just want to be connected with people. And that was a big part of generating my business in the beginning with them too. So just having opportunities that they're like, hey, we want to see you in production. We're going to give you this help, and providing all of those needs assistance wise, whether it's training or opportunities or places for you to get plugged in that is affordable, whether you're at the beginning or whether you're further along, is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's scary to make that move. It sounds too good to be true. You see the greener grass. And so for somebody watching right now, Rhonda, and they're like, man, like I see all these successful people going over there. My friends are iconing that have been with EXP. And so now maybe I'm ready to make the move, but I'm so loyal to my broker and I don't know how to break up with them. And what if I don't even icon? You know, is EXP still going to be worth it for me? What would you have to say to them to kind of get them, you know, rest assured that this is the move for them to make?
Well, and obviously this is a much longer answer and conversation to your question, because I could go on forever of how wonderful. And I'm not speaking of that from just a hype. I mean, like legitimately, my bank account shows everything they've promised to me. My the opportunities I've had in this company show everything that has been said. And it's not just for me, it's for everyone, because they understood that an agent-focused company is truly, everything has to come back to that. It's not a mirage. It's not a facade. It is exactly the mission and the heart of everything that is going on. And when everybody wins, everybody wins. And so everything that our company has acquired, as far as in purchasing other companies, everything that the management is, or the management, but you know, the
is, right? Like the head honchos, like we got like Ron Hanford, Jason,
you know,
that's who you're referring to, right?
Yes. They, like, every choice they're making is, you know, is a win-win. It's going to be something that is for our benefit. It's not because there's some sort of you know, power struggle they're on that they have to just acquire, or it really is the whole thought behind it is, we're going to do this because it's going to give you this. We're going to do this because it's going to give you this. And when it's the real deal, and I think that that's what people are most jaded about, is most people are just, and the same thing in real estate, they don't want to just be sold to. It's the same culture, but when it's the real deal, you don't want to miss that. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that I speak with, and yes, you need to be in a place that you're ready, but they're just totally closed off to even thinking about the fact there could be something better than where they are. And the beauty is, culture's culture. That culture lives in you. And if you're going somewhere that culture exists as well, if not flourishes even more, you're just going to vibe right into that. And if anything, anyone you feel like you left behind, you need to tell them about that. That's why I tell people about EXP, because if I wasn't given this opportunity, I kid the person who told me about it. I was like, you waited 4 months to tell me about this? Like, like really?
And somebody who wants to attract agents too, because you don't want to feel like the guy at the kiosk at the mall, like, here's the sample, let me straighten your hair. Like, you know, you like to be sold on when it's stuff like that. But it really, I think agent attraction is a much better word than recruiting, because we're like, hey man, we're enjoying all these benefits of EXP. These conferences are insanely amazing, not only for networking, but for really showing like appreciation to their employees, like running out Universal Studios. How cool was that, right? So there's so much that comes with the benefits of EXP that you're not going to find anywhere else. And talk about employee retention. What better way to keep everybody on board and excited than to offer to give them a piece of the pie with stock options? You know, 5% of your commission can go to discounted stock. You're getting a $10 bill for $9. So I think that's awesome. And you've hit pretty much every key aspect of that.
Well, and anybody at all, if for no other reason, like emotions aside, any other thing that would get in the way, like, let's just look at it humbly on paper, because numbers just don't lie, you know, and you're really not sacrificing anything, your benefit. It's the same thing when it's real estate, right? Who wants to move to that new state or that change? And it's exciting. And at the same time, you feel like you're leaving so much behind. Right. But then you get there and you realize, wow, you have this whole life that you would have never been able to be a part if you hadn't just taken that leap of faith and gone, or even looked into it to even see about moving. So it's just life. It's normal human nature. However, I would 1,000% encourage everybody, do not short sell yourself, because this, like I said, my favorite thing I ever heard was the first EXP meeting that I went to. That was a national meeting that first year I was in real estate. The founder stood up there and said, "Hey guys, this is what we're doing because we know we're the best out there for our agents." It was just a humble presentation. And literally he ended it with, "And as soon as we find someone doing it better, I'll lead us that way." I mean, legitimately, like, that's awesome. And there's been, for every part, like I said, from the very beginning, even not as an Icon agent, EXP is rewarding you for things you're doing every day anyway, with stock that is just free to you. I literally, even before I became an Icon agent, realized I could pay my house off with that stock that was just free. Like, that was doing the same thing I'd be doing anywhere else. That's incredible.
Mhm.
And then to also be able to be in the position to earn this back is just amazing. And if they weren't giving us this opportunity, again, I could go into for hours of how they're doing that and why it's so great. But that's why you can reach out and we'll chat later. But but it's just, if they weren't giving us that opportunity, if they weren't matching their works with what they're saying, it wouldn't be the real deal. And I've gotten to, honestly, it's moved me to tears a couple of times, but in each part, before I was Icon and then also since I've been Icon, have gotten to go straight up and shake Glenn Sanford's hand and shake all the people's hands in the very top of everything who are humble and available, and gotten to say to their face, "Thank you for changing my life and for changing my family's life, my client's life, my business," and truly giving and creating something that is so legit and like-hearted with my personal beliefs as a person, which is wonderful. So
It is an incredible model, and people are trying to be copycats of it. But think about how long EXP's been around to have the trial and error time, right? To figure out what is really going on, how to keep consistency with all of this, and then coming close to 84,000 agents coming over and enjoying that and taking advantage of it. And so that success leaves clues. And like Rhonda said, if you have questions, reach out to her. There's so much we can go on about. What are you interested most in about EXP? What are your goals? What's your why? Why are you in real estate? How is EXP going to cater to that or give you advantages or ways to leverage that into your life? And I just think that Rhonda would be a great resource for you guys to reach out to. And are you going to be at EXP Con, Rhonda?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely plan on seeing me there. But if you guys are at EXP Con, reach out to Rhonda. We don't care if you're with other brokerages. I met some other little secret agents that shareholders considering to come over to EXP, and this is the best way to get immersed in the community and meet people and kind of interview different uplines without really interviewing different uplines, right? Like not like you're being there, you're surrounding yourself with the people, and I think that's an awesome opportunity for you to get involved. So reach out to Rhonda. Come to EXP Con if you want, or don't, but I think it's a really good opportunity for you. And ask your questions, do your research. You owe it to yourself, but at the end of the day, like Rhonda said, it's life-changing. It's a whole different world at EXP. And Rhonda, is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with as we approach about 30 minutes here?
Well, absolutely. So just like you just said, as far as what are your goals and would they match with EXP, if one of your goals is not retirement, you are in the wrong place. And that's said no real estate agent ever that their firm is offering them that. So not only are we being supplemented and encouraged, but given the opportunity to spread this culture everywhere, and just given everything that we need, and with a company that is constantly growing. We're built for this. There's literally nothing that is coming our way that we're already not thinking and forward thinking. And even more than that, taking the feedback from the agents, and they're open to any and all of it, and wanting to consider all of that so that they can grow the best way, as well as creating a retirement option that not only is an option, but will actually give you the option to retire early, way earlier than you could ever plan. Should that be something that you're wanting to be a part of, whether in a small way or in a large way? So many options. Just like we said, we definitely need to chat, but that is most pivotal for sure.
I think that is a great note to wrap it up on today, Rhonda. Again, reach out to her, reach out to me, watch more episodes of the Icon podcast, because that is the top 2% of the industry in the EXP. So if you are looking to get your questions answered and affiliated with the best of the best, this is the place to find them. Rhonda, I'm really excited to see you in Vegas, and let me know if you want to do a spinoff or hang out sometime in the meantime.
Sounds good. Thanks, Gianna.
Thanks, Rhonda. Bye.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.